Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, the Upanishads say that you have come, dropped on this earth with a chariot, the five horses, which has 5 horses, which has reins, which has a charioteer, and now you have to figure it out. What do you want to do with it? Right? So, and there are n number of options that are given. Infinite options. So you have to figure it out. Okay? So therefore, he says that the person who first figure out, who is the one who's using this facility that one has come with to the maximum possible? The one who figures out there is nowhere to go. Because the very fact that you come with this, what is the orientation? I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to use this, I have to use that, right? But actually what is required is for you, paramam padam apnoti. What is the highest that I can achieve with this faculty of reasoning and this body that supports that faculty of reasoning? The mind cannot exist in vacuum. You need a body where the mind can operate from. And you will, the Chandogya Upanishad says one thing very interesting. Okay? Because, and you don't only need a body, you need a healthy body for a healthy mind. There is an experiment that the father tells his son. He says, stop eating. And he said, stop eating for 7 days. Then he says, now you think about Brahman. The son is struggling, cannot even think clearly. Then he says, now you start eating. Then again his mind, what? Becomes alert. Right? So you've come with this facility which is not operating independently. There is an interdependence. And there is an interdependence within the organism itself and also with everything else. So this faculty, you first have to figure out that this, the highest that I can achieve is to know my reality. So if I have to know the reality, what do I need? Where does any knowledge take place? Does it take place in the hand? Does it take place in the leg? Does it take place in your tongue? Where does the knowledge take place? In the mind, right? Mind is the place where knowledge takes place. So therefore, you need, if you have an uncultivated mind, right? What is your capacity to understand the meaning of the words as they are meant to be understood? If you have an untrained mind, what will happen? What is told by the Upanishad, by the time you make a meaning out of it, what have you done? Distortion. By the time you receive its meaning, it's created some other meaning for you. And once you have created another meaning, then what? Then you will build on that another meaning and you will start going without your knowing farther and farther away from the truth, not even realizing it. And you think you are really trying hard. Right? So therefore, it's extremely important because the mind is where knowledge takes place. The knowledge doesn't take place in vacuum. So therefore, you need, and that mind is supported by the body. So you need healthy body. You can't get into this, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, let me not pay attention to that. No. You need a healthy body. You need a healthy mind. Only then the knowledge will take place. Right? Now, how do you prepare this mind? He says that the next verse, it says, Vijnanam sarathihi yastu mana pragraha va naraha saha advanaha paramapnoti tat vishnoho paramam padam. The person who has has made an effort to make one's intellect discriminative. Okay? And also intellect as a chariot driver, and who has disciplined the mind as the reins, okay, he reaches the end of the journey. Okay? And what is that end of the journey? It is the supreme abode of Brahman. The person reaches Brahman. The person knows the reality of one being Brahman. Right? So therefore, the importance of cultivated buddhi and mind is given in this verse. So you know that when I emphasize that, it's not my opinions. It's written in the book that you need that. Right? So now the point is, how do you cultivate your buddhi and your mind? Now there's another problem. Yes, I know that I need to cultivate it, I need to make it sharp, I need to make it refined, I need to make it objective, which is what we call vairagya, without coloring things. I need all of that, but the next question is, how? How do I make it like that? Right? So this is where you are not told, you figure it out. You go and you figure out, and only then you come to Vedanta and you will understand it. The methodology within Vedanta itself takes care of that. It tells you how to have a buddhi which is a sharp buddhi. How to cultivate. It doesn't come naturally. Even if you are so-called intelligent, you have a high IQ, doesn't mean that you are necessarily prepared for Vedanta. Why?
Opinions.
Sorry?
Because of all the opinions and judgments.
Exactly. So as Surya used to somehow say, a mind which is prepared for Vedanta is multidimensional, not just unidimensional. You can have an extremely intelligent person who has extremely high cognitive faculty, but a highly immature as far as emotional life is concerned. Right? Or you can have an extremely sensitive person who is very compassionate, who's very giving, who's very, a good human being, but with reference to faculty of thinking, this is all too much. I just want to be nice. Right? So you have people who are very good in one aspect and they are lacking in the other aspect. For Vedanta to work for you, you need to develop different aspects of your mind, not just one. You have a cognitive capacity which has to be sharp, brilliant, not clouded. You have to have emotional life which is healthy. You need to have a sense of I which is nurtured. You need all these embellishments to prepare for this knowledge. So therefore, Surya used to say that the person who's ready for Vedanta is bright as a scientist, okay, is like a saint with proper emotions, like an artist, what? Thinking, capable of thinking out of the box. All three. And also the person with good self-esteem. All that.
So we can go.
Sorry?
So we can go.
Right? So that means that you need, how will you do that? So this is where different models are given, different frameworks. One of the framework which we already talked about is what? Karma Yoga. Perfect. Because most of your life is spent in having desires, choosing actions, and what? Receiving results. It's a very important part of your life. And in these three things, if you are confused, you are confused. So you need to figure it out. You need to say, what is my relationship with desire? I just want to be drowned by desire, or I want to have no desire? What is it that I want? You need to figure it out. Proper relationship with desires. Desires are not bad. Today, this afternoon, Surya will do a very important module, interactive module on Raga and Dvesha, desires. Proper relationship with desires. I will not do it now because we don't have time. Okay? He will do it in the afternoon. Actions. How do I choose my actions? We saw already a lot of discussion on dharma. We also saw, because of David's question, the complexity of choosing the right action. Okay? Results. What do I understand about the result? All about Karma Yoga, gaining objectivity. Is that the only model that Vedanta has for self-growth? What is the other model? You've all studied Vedanta.
You mean the one is Karma Yoga, the other is Brahman, to live as a monk?
Oh, okay. Wow, that is. That's a lifestyle that you choose. Okay, that life of sannyasi. Yeah.
Sannyasi.
Okay. Now that is a little bit debatable. Just by giving up everything, you don't necessarily prepare yourself, right? Here we are talking about embellishing the mind and the buddhi so that you become ready for the knowledge. Generally, what they say is sannyasa is meant for somebody who's already done that process. Supposed to be like that, not in practice. Right. So, meditation. Excellent. Right? Meditation is another method. Please understand, meditation is not an end, because the end is to know my true nature through exposing myself to this teaching. Okay? But meditation helps. How does it help?
Quietens.
Make the mind safe.
Excellent. In the quietened state of meditation, what Surya showed today, you can do contemplation. And what was said in the class. To make it really your own. Right? That's a very important thing, because in the classroom you use a mind to understand things, but in the meditation, as you said, Gabi, you reach a certain depth because of these japa practices and all. And at that level of depth, if you bring the teaching, it has a different impact for you. Meditation is an important practice, very important practice, to assimilate the knowledge and to prepare the mind, make it relatively quiet. What are the other things that Vedanta is talking about?
Understanding and managing of the gunas.
Excellent. Okay. The other frameworks, it gives you many different frameworks to work on your mind and buddhi. Okay. There is another framework which is given, which is the framework of sattva, rajas and tamas. The gunas. Okay. Now, even that sattva, rajas, tamas framework we use in a very simplistic way. We use it to say this person is tamasic, this person is rajasic, this person is sattvic because the person is looking nice. Right? Everything which is profound, because of our lack of refinement, we make it simplistic. Therefore, even this rajas, tamas and sattva, the Bhagavad Gita further divides in many categories. In 17th chapter, in 14th chapter. Tamas in what? Sattva in what?
In every action you are doing.
In so many facets. Yeah, there's so many facets that you have, right? Your eating habits, the disciplines that you practice, what you believe in life. Your sattva, rajas and tamas can manifest in different ways. You can be very good in one and you may not be good in the other. So you can't label people and you also can't label yourself. It is a framework that is given to you to give an insight into which are the areas where I need to work. Where is it that I need to? I'm maybe good here, but I need here work. Because when you specify different aspects where sattva, rajas and tamas manifest, you have an insight, you have a concrete idea as to where I need to work. Otherwise, the whole pursuit remains fluffy. Okay? Further divisions to make you see where is it that you need to be more sattvic. That's another framework. Very important framework. What is the other framework?
What about Bhakti Yoga?
Excellent. Another framework which is an extremely important framework, which is your relationship with Ishvara. You cannot make sense of this world, the world of names and forms, without understanding Ishvara. You will always have this question, how did these names and forms come about? Yes, they all melt away in consciousness, but who created them in the first place? So therefore, proper relationship with the cause of the universe. Proper relationship, healthy relationships. First, proper understanding of the cause of the universe, then relating to it properly, healthy. This is growth. This is cultivation of mind and intellect. What else?
What is with the qualifications?
Excellent. Right? All the qualifications. What are the qualifications? Tattva Bodha.
Discriminate.
Exactly. The first book of Vedanta. Very good. What? To discriminate. So that is what?
Between
Nitya, Anitya, Vastuhu, Viveka. Viveka. Discriminative buddhi. Good. Then? Even to remember what we have to do is a problem. True.
yeah, cleanness, charity, what
The second is Vairagya. What is the third one?
Atma Vinigraha.
Shama, Dama, Uparati, what, Titiksha, Samadhanam.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this Shama, Dama, etc. Surya will speak about this afternoon. Right? This is another framework that is given. Very good. These are the different frameworks. Otherwise you don't know what do I need to do. The only modern method we know is psychology. Right? If you want to give up your distortions, the only method, what do we know in the modern day and time? Psychology. And they do a great job. And you can also use that, but you have wealth of other things that you can use to cultivate your buddhi and your mind. Okay? There is another very important framework of raga and dvesha. How to manage your raga and dvesha. Do you need to eliminate them or do you need to manage them?
To manage.
Raga and dvesha. Raga is what we call likes and dvesha is dislikes. Now those likes and dislikes, either they can be, there is nothing wrong in having likes and dislikes. Everybody is born with some likes and dislikes. Okay? I like dosa, he likes koso.
Too long in French.
Too long in France. I yearn for curd rice. I yearn for curd rice, he yearns for pastas.
French fries.
French rice. Is there anything wrong? Did you have to have curd rice in order to understand this knowledge? No, not really. You can still love pastas and you can still understand this. There is nothing. So, likes and dislikes themselves are not a problem. Don't make it into a problem. But when any like begins to bind me, it becomes a problem. Without curd rice, I cannot survive for a day, problem. Okay? That means you have to find a proper relationship with your likes and dislikes. There is nothing wrong in having it, but you need to find relative freedom. So that means you manage your likes and dislikes and they don't manage you. Okay? So all this is what we call raga dvesha. These are all the different modules that are available for us to help us to grow as an individual so that you can get the ultimate. And what is the ultimate? Moksha, my true nature. Knowing my true nature, the reality about myself. Okay? Now, the person can ask the question that he asked yesterday, and that is, all this is fine, but who created this world? Who created this world in a way that I'm born with this body and this mind, and you are born with this body and that mind, and then the lion is born with that body and mind, the bird is born with a different body and mind, the trees, even though they are alive, they cannot walk, they don't have legs, all these aquatic creatures, the hundreds and billions of species on the earth itself. And you go little bit outside the earth, how many lokas and how many beings? Infinite. Who created this earth on which we all live and we don't fall off the edge? actually we are not inside, we are actually outside. And imagine you're in a globe and you're here. In this space, hanging in this space, upside down. Really?
As a child, I couldn't imagine the world like from outside, because I always had I was afraid that it falls down. Really?
Yeah. And the earth on which you are is not just stationary, nicely standing there. It's moving. And it's moving at a high speed. And even while moving, imagine if the sun was totally stationary and the earth was moving away. You will freeze to death. So that means, while all this is moving, right? What? The distances are constant. You try to juggle 5 balls which are continuously moving, and then the distance between them remains exactly the same for 5 minutes. This is how old is the universe? Billions of years. It's going on. No error. Incredible. How is something which is just melting away into awareness, how did it all come about? And it has not just come about in some inelegant, random fashion. Come about in a highly sophisticated manner, very precise. This is why when Albert Einstein was looking into the universe, he made a statement. He said, God does not play game of dice. Dice.
Würfel spielen.
Dice.
Ja, Würfel.
Dice. He saw. You try to figure out the equations that are required for you to work out one simple thing in the universe. Equations within equations within equations within equations. What does it represent? All knowledge. Right? So if you are interested in the truth, you cannot avoid this question, how did this universe come about? It's not enough to know I'm awareness and everything depends upon me. Any inquiry into the truth has to include all the aspects. Only then there is clarity. Otherwise there is partial knowledge. You only think only about that. Okay, somebody raises a question and asks, where did this knowledge, this universe come about? Oh, I don't know, I don't care. Okay, therefore, you need to ask this question, where did this universe come from? So the next verse is, here he says, Paranchakaman anuyanti, no, Paranchikhani vyaturunat swayambhuhu tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman kaschid dhiraha pratyak atmanam aikshata avrutta chakshuhu amrutatvam ichan. Okay, so here he says that who arranged this universe? So here he says Swayambhuhu. Okay, Swayambhuhu is the Ishvara. Ishvara manifested as the universe Now we need to and create it in a way that we are born with ignorance. We are born with connection with one body and mind. You didn't choose it. You came with it. It has created the universe that only a human or equivalent subtle body can figure out the whole thing, and not everybody. So now let's look at the nature of this Swayambhu, Ishvara, who has created. You come in a universe where everything is given. Time is given, space is given, earth is given, sun is given, moon is given, galaxies are given, body is given, mind is given, everything is given. Okay? So therefore, what is the nature of the cause of the universe? Cause of the universe means the cause of all the forms that I see that are arranged in an incredibly beautiful manner. Okay? What do you think can be the cause of the universe? When everything melts away into awareness, what could be the cause of the universe?
Came from it.
Excellent. What could be the cause? If I ask you, there is only one thing, what could be the cause?
That's one thing.
That's one thing. Perfect. You can't have a second thing to be, which is the cause of this whole thing. Very good. Right? So, then you are asked another question. Okay? And the other question is, but awareness, has it undergone any change? No. If the awareness has not undergone any change, how can it become the cause of all these names and forms? Logically impossible. Logically, you can have only one possibility as the cause of the universe, and that is awareness. But you have a difficulty because that awareness, according to Vedanta, it says it is invariable, it doesn't undergo any change. So awareness, without undergoing any change, how did it become all these names and forms? This is what we call Maya. The awareness has the capacity to, as though, manifest as the universe, all the names and forms, without undergoing any change. Just like in your dream every night, you have the capacity to create this whole world, dream world, without intrinsically undergoing any change. You assume the form of a mountain, you assume the form of a tree, dream mountain, dream characters. Your awareness, does it become mountain, tree, characters? It doesn't. It is free, and at the same time it assumes those forms. This particular potential to manifest and manifest as different forms is what we call Maya. The awareness, who has that potential? There is only one thing, right? So awareness, which has the potential to manifest as the whole universe, that with reference to that potential, you give it a name. What is it? Maya. Okay. Therefore, Maya has two capacities. Maya has the capacity to manifest The universe with all these different names and forms. That is what we call Vikshepa Shakti. Now, if it manifests the whole universe and every form in the universe knows the reality that all that is here is this awareness which is manifesting is different in different names and forms, do you think we would all be what? Jnanis. We would all be wise people. But there is a trick here, because every form that comes into being has no understanding of the fact that all that is here is one awareness. This knowledge is blocked from our understanding. This is the second capacity of Maya, which is what we call Avarana Shakti. The Avarana Shakti belongs to Maya, not to Jiva. Jiva is avidya. Because of this Avarana Shakti, this knowledge is what? Hidden from my understanding. Therefore, every Jiva borns what? Ignorant of this reality. That is what we call avidya. What is Maya from the standpoint of the potential for creation becomes avidya with reference to something which is created. That's why you struggle with your ignorance. Okay, so this awareness with that potential, there are no two things here, please understand. The same awareness with reference to the potential to manifest the universe is what we call Maya. And that manifestation, in order for that manifestation to be, you need Vikshepa Shakti, capacity to manifest different names and forms, and then what? Capacity to hide Avarana, this reality. Now,
And the capacity is something different than an attribute.
the capacity is different from the attribute.
It's not an attribute, because before we were it's not an attribute of awareness. It's
not
a
an
capacity.
No, it's not an attribute of awareness. So awareness, as I explained to you, that's a good question. Awareness without undergoing any change becomes that. Otherwise, awareness will have that attribute. It's like, as I explained in the dream, without undergoing any change, your personal awareness has created the world. It didn't undergo any change. So therefore, it has that in-between reality. In terms of order of reality, it is what we call mithya.
So Maya is mithya from...
Yes. In its ontological thing, Maya is mithya. Because that potential entirely depends upon the awareness. Without awareness, there is no potential. But awareness exists with or without the potential. Perfect. Okay? So therefore, now, this is Maya. If this is Maya, what is Ishvara? You have another word now. That potential which is unmanifest becomes manifest. Just as the seed which had potential, what? Becomes the tree. Okay? Now, when the actual manifestation comes, the same awareness which has that potential to manifest becomes what? The cause of the universe. The cause of the universe, which includes what? Time, space, and all the different forms within time and space. Awareness from the standpoint, according to the standpoint that you are talking, gets different names. There is only one, remember. Don't search for one entity, Ishvara, second entity, Maya, third entity, Brahman. You will go crazy. This is one awareness looked at from different standpoints. Awareness in its true nature, Brahman. Awareness with reference to its potential to manifest, Maya. Awareness with reference to that which is the cause of all these different forms, Ishvara. Very important. Otherwise, you are caught.
Because this termini are used so mixed up.
So mixed up.
Even in our tradition, in this yoga tradition.
Yes, they are
because
mixed
the
up.
world is Maya.
Exactly, absolutely. They are so mixed up, right? And people don't think. They create another entity called Ishvara. And then they can't handle, because then they said, oh yeah, but this awareness, and then there is another entity called Ishvara, and why should I care about Ishvara, because I am Brahman? Oh my God, it's one whole big jumble. Jumble up. Entangled thinking. One thing seen from different standpoint. Very easy. How do you understand that? Why do you need all these different words? Look at you the person. Right? Imagine that you have a child. You, the person, is one. Right? Before you become a mother or a father, can I call you a mother or a father? No. I can't call you because the child is yet to be born. So what is it? You have the potential. You are a potential mother and a father, to be precise. When the child comes, you become what? I have to give you a different name. I can't call you potential mother and father. I have to call you what? Mother or father. How many things are there? Person, potential, mother and father. 3 things? 3 things? How many things? 1. You. You, with reference to that given potential, I give you a name, what? Potential mother and father. When the child comes, you have yet another name, mother or father. You, seen from different standpoint. So therefore, right, this awareness with reference to its potential to create is called Maya. Maya has 2 capacities. Capacities to manifest and hide this reality from you. Yeah.
The thing ring.
And with reference to the real create, when the potential becomes manifest creation of name and form, the same awareness, what do we call? Ishvara. The cause of the universe. Okay. Now, the cause of the universe Okay? How is Ishvara manifesting in this universe?
With laws.
Excellent. It is manifesting this universe with all these different laws which makes it in a way that what? I'm born with a body and I'm given food to eat. Which requires food. My digestive system requires food for me to survive, then the food is given to me. Then the tree from which I gain my food, if I'm vegetarian, requires sun. Sun is also given. Then the sun has to be within the solar system, that is also given. Then it's within this Milky Way galaxy, that is also given. So I come in this world which is full of what? Laws, as you say. That potential, when it manifests in form of names and forms, it doesn't do a bad job, it does a brilliant job. This is what we call Sarvagnaha Sarvashaktiman Ishvara. What is the nature of this Ishvara? It is all knowledge. Incredible calculations. A physicist is very busy trying to understand the world. How does he understand the world? Series of mathematics, formulas. All these are already worked out by somebody who created the universe. By that awareness, with its potential, which created the universe. Knowledge. It's all just knowledge manifesting, which has created all the laws, different complex laws. The physical laws themselves are unfathomable. But these physical laws also work in harmony with biological laws. And physical and biological laws work in harmony with chemical laws. And they work in harmony with epistemological laws. And they work in harmony with physiological laws. And they work in harmony with psychological laws. Whole thing is worked out. Impeccable precision. Okay? So this is what we call, when it manifests in the universe, it exhibits all the knowledge. The knowledge and power. With that knowledge, it is not just the laws. If you say it is only the laws, then I will say, where did the forms which are subject to laws, where did they come from? Because there is one thing which is physical law, there is second thing which is me, who is subject to those laws. The laws of gravity are there, but there are objects to which those laws of gravity apply. Where did those objects come from?
Laws.
The same intelligence, the same Sarvajnaha. It creates not only the laws, it also creates what? The forms, which are subject to those laws.
Can we say the laws is the intelligent?
The laws are manifestation of that intelligence, and the forms which are subject to the laws are also manifestation of that intelligence. Why? Why? Here, as Surya was explaining, you see billions of cells. Who's coordinating them? Are you sitting and coordinating? You will be so busy coordinating. Whole day you will go in balancing all these billions of cells. You will not be able to do anything else. It's already done. This is the intelligence. It's already done. The minute the food enters your system, you don't say, okay, now you go through my pipe, then you go to my, it just happens. This is what we call intelligence. Billions of cells are coordinated right now that you must be thinking, when will she stop because the bell is ringing? You can think about that, you can still listen to me, your stomach is doing something, everything happens simultaneously. All this is happening.
Here also laws. Here also laws.
Exactly. That's right. So therefore, there is this intelligence which is not out there as laws of gravity, which is right here, making your whole system work. And his meditation yesterday was all about recognizing the presence of that intelligence here. Don't make Ishvara into some entity which is away from you. If you do that, you're always what? At the mercy of that big entity called Ishvara, because you are this little one who's subject to the mercy of Ishvara. You are manifestation of Ishvara. Recognize that.
Can one say that the same relationship then Atma and Ishvara as Ishvara and the laws?
Ishvara, we will talk about it because I think it's late and then we need to, we'll talk about it later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.